calling some plays back there. Are you the new UCLA offensive coordinator?
No. I work for the greatest offensive coordinator in the conference, so I learn from him every single day. The cool thing is he actually lets us call plays during practice, and it's an unbelievable, experience, right? You get to learn what goes into it. Then he talks to you about it after. And so for us as a coaching development, what more could you ask for than be able to ask Coach Kelly exactly what you thought about all your calls, things like that. So it's an unbelievable thing we get to do, and I'm really fortunate for it. But the coaching part of it, and us be able to coach our guys, call plays, things like that, can't pass it up.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You have some new wide receivers with Jake and Titus that are pretty impressive. What was kind of your role in bringing them in, and what have you thought of them so far?
Well, I mean, you just want to put as much talent in the room as you possibly can, but more so than that, they're great people. We recruited Titus really hard out of high school, and to be able to get him a year later after the portal, it was a great thing, and it just kind of felt right. To be able to get Jake after his career at Duke, to be honest, I feel like we got really lucky. We got a steal on that one. But how much they've added to the room in terms of culture, in terms of work ethic, things like that, we're really lucky to have them. I think they add to what is going to be a really good group.
Yeah, Coach Ferris coming in, what's it like working with him so far?
You know what? He pushes me every single day. He's an unbelievable coach. Coming from Duke with his experience and being able to learn from the things they've done and kind of bounce ideas off each other. It's been a great experience. Plus, he's really young. He pushes me. I didn't realize how much energy he does have. He is bouncing off the walls all the time and is pushing me to my limit all the time. So he's been a great person to have to push each other. And I think everyone on our staff, it's been a lot of energy. And I'm really excited about what we can get done this season.
What's it like? He obviously worked with Jake at Duke, and then they both end up coming here. You kind of work together on that, and any communication with how he used Jake previously, how just kind of develops moving forward?
There's a lot of things. There's obviously familiarity, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes you don't want to change the message, you just want to change the messenger. So sometimes when we're talking to Jake, he's got a relationship with him. I have a different one, and we both can kind of get to him and make sure we both understand where we're coming from. Sometimes it's better to understand a concept like, hey, this is kind of similar to what we did at Duke and things like that. So for us to be able to kind of coach all of our guys together and make sure we're all on the same page, it's been an unbelievable experience. And to have Coach Ferris, Coach Drevno, everybody else who's been added to the staff, I think they're all been unbelievable additions. And really now we're just trying to make sure we get the most out of these next 2 spring practices and get ready for fall.
What have you seen out of Kaz Allen's development?
Second year coming as a receiver, you can't be more impressed with what he's doing. I think he's an unbelievable talent. For the longest time he's been a running back his entire career, so last year's his first time as a receiver. You don't see him really kind of explode onto the scene until the last game of the year, but that's because, there's a lot of reps you got to get. You haven't played that position, things like that. There's a lot of different things as you're moving through space that you got to learn. So to be able to do all that and now be able to be where he's at now, I'm really excited for what he's going to be able to do this season. Hopefully more of what he did against SC last year.
Is there? Go ahead.
Your thoughts on just the overall depth of the position?
At the receiver position? I'm really excited. I think the additions we've had, along with the 2 new guys we have coming in, I think, we've got a lot of depth in the room. But we've also got a lot of guys who are, ready to go make a big play when the play calls for it. And I think that's what I'm excited about. We've got a lot of guys who believe in the concept of new deal, right? Believing in wanting each other to have just as much success as they have their own. And when you've got that in the room, and you've got a kind of guys that we have, I think we've got a really good chance to be special this year.
Is there anybody under the radar that we should be keeping an eye on that's impressed you?
I would keep an eye on all of them. I'm very impressed. I think more years in the system. For the longest time we were young, and you had Kyle Phillips. Sorry, we got a helicopter above it. When we've had Kyle Phillips, we've had Chase Cota, you've had a bunch of guys who started since their freshman year. And so now to give these guys some valuable reps in the spring and to be able to get them on the same track and kind of give them the looks they need to get, I'm really excited. We've got Sicey going into his 3rd year. 2nd year with Kaz, a receiver. DJ Justice going into his 2nd year. You've got Titus and Bobo who both played a lot of football and now coming in and be able to get them those reps. To be honest with you, we've got our walk-on guys. We've got Ashley, we've got Devontae, we've got Brad, all with great reps that they need. So it's been awesome. And I'm trying to talk louder. I'll get really loud for you guys because I know we're unfortunately flying in a helicopter right here. But I'm just excited for the room because I know I can put anybody in and they're going to have success this year.
Yeah, the NFL draft coming up this week with Kyle going in. We talked with him, chatted with him, seen how he's kind of worked his way up to it, and just how nice is it seeing him go into this next stage?
I'm just incredibly proud of him. Most of the work that people put in isn't on Instagram. It's not on social media. But if you saw how hard that kid works day in and day out, and what he's put in off the field, right, to be able to go on the board, to understand not only what his position does, but every outside position. He could literally go through and detail every single lineman's blocks. And that's what, I believe as a coach. I think as coming from a quarterback background, now being with receivers, like if you understand the whole concept, you understand the why of the play, you inherently find a way to succeed in that play. It will always see the same picture every single time. I like to say this: we give you the lines, and you get to paint whatever color within those lines, right? And so with that being said, Kyle really took that to heart and really learned every single position. And now that he's done that, he's been able to go on, hopefully impress some NFL teams. And I think whatever franchise gets him, they got a really special one.
As you get deeper and deeper into your coaching career, do you bounce things off your dad for feedback or things like that?
All the time. I feel really lucky. I've got a couple mentors in my life, and my dad being probably the most important. When you grow up with a dad like that, he comes home. I don't get like fairy tales or anything like that. We don't do story time. I literally have the old Homer Smith board, and he breaks it out, and he used to put a pencil on the hash. And he said, all right, you got 1 minute and 30, you got 70 yards to go. What do you call them? And you have to do the whole thing going down the field. So some people got TV and movies, and I got 2-minute drill. So, I was kind of bred to do this. And to be honest, to be able to do this in my alma mater where he coached and where I was born, like this is a dream come true. And so to be able to be here and give back to these players and be able to coach them and they're even taking the same teachers I took. Like this is an unbelievable experience. It's not lost on me about how special that really is. And so we just work every single day to get UCLA, back to where it should be. And I'm really excited about where we can be this year.
Did you see the Bruce Feldman tweet about the Northwestern series and how you'll be head coach by then?
I'm glad we're playing Northwestern in 2033 and 2034. Whatever happens may happen. Right now, I'm just excited to be on the staff and see what we can do this year.
Awesome. Thank you so much.